Hey everyone, welcome back to Fate Stay Night Remastered of Jerry and Jays. Took a little bit of a break between last episode and recording this episode to just get a little bit more food in me. I had singular margarita, right? Um, got to be a little bit more than what I wanted it to, but hey, it's okay. So I needed a moment to gather my brain cells and let them come back together. Anyway, in the middle of Shirou fighting with Gilgamesh, which Shirou's actually been putting up a pretty good defense, but Gilgamesh has also not used his noble phantasm, or like the big one, Gates of Babylon, to kind of fling out every weapon in his arsenal down at Shirou. But just one-on-one sword fighting. Shirou's defending himself, he's not necessarily making ground. He's holding his own, though. Saber's really pleading with him, though, to kind of leave. He's still staying, because he's, really wanting to get Saber out of this alive. I really don't know how this is gonna go unless Lancer, or Ilya, or Rin, or somebody else pops up into the picture. That's the only way I really see this working out. Maybe not Shinji. He's long gone. Maybe Shirou has something that we don't know about that he'll be able to pull off. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get reading. I'm conscious right now, but my vision is already starting to narrow. Besides, even a tiny movement will send all my organs tumbling out of my torso. Maybe I really am dead, and my consciousness or my ghost or something is just hanging around watching what's unfolding. I thought that attack would leave you scattered all over the place, like over there and over there, but you're nothing if not tenacious. I suppose clinging so desperately to life is the only good quality a mongrel possesses. He laughs. I'm grateful for it, honestly. The more horribly grating that laughter is, the harder my consciousness fights to cling to my physical body. But it all ends here. You are unworthy of a lion. She will be mine. There's another reference to Saber being a lion. I was talking with one of my commenters in the comment section, obviously, about I think Osano David, about the lion and Arthur being like a reoccurring thing throughout the whole Fate series. If I ever get around to Hollow Atraxia, it's apparently in there. It's apparently getting remastered, so if it is, granted, if I'm hoping that this is an ongoing hobby for me for years, but if it comes out and we've cleaned this up and everything, we'll get to it. More footsteps. This time, he's going to take Saber for sure. I stand up. Duh. I stand up. I pour all the strength I have left into my one good arm. I try to grip the ground with my sticky, slippery arm and lever myself upright, even as I'm on the verge of literally splitting apart. For a brief second, I see Saber's face. She's on the brink of tears. In that moment, I'm proud to know falling in love with her wasn't a mistake. What makes it not a mistake right now in this moment? I feel like falling in love with her is causing you a whole lot of trouble. Hold it. Hold it, I mean. It's not over yet. I force myself up. Neither of my legs work. The magical energy that barely kept my body moving is gone. All that remains is my faint heartbeat and the throbbing of my organs trying desperately to continue functioning. Feeling regret, are we? I can hardly blame you. But that treasure's beyond you. I can hardly blame you for wanting to take it for yourself. That must make it all the more painful to see it in the hands of another man. Oh, you're not talking about the Holy Grail, you're talking about Saber. Too far. He goes too far. I can't listen to another second of his crap. Enough. Quit talking about Saber like she's just something to be claimed. There's that look of disgust again, that little pout. I pour what energy I can into my right arm. It feels like it's made of lead. My body creaks in protest, but begins to obey. Ugh. I push myself up to one knee. It sounds like you collapse. Dang! Listen to me. I take a deep breath, trying to focus what strength I have left. Every time I move, I feel my organs shifting around as if it's with minds of their own. Why do we not understand that it is pointless? Saber sounds like she's denouncing me. She's far away. In the distance, I can see her staring at me, sad and forlorn. I push everything from my mind to focus on making my body move. Saber's voice is just a distraction. Gilgamesh's laughter, pathetic state my body's in. None of that is my biggest obstacle right now. Right now, it's Saber. Hearing her say that, seeing her look like that, it's almost enough to make me give up. Finally. I feel life flood into my knees. Now all I have to do is get to my feet. I do not need it. I do not need your help. I have lost, and I am so no longer your sword. It is only proper for me to disappear now. It's Saber's voice. Dang. If you keep saying that, if you keep making this even harder, I'll get mad. Even at you. No. Please stop, Shirou. You cannot keep going, really. You will die. If you die this way, I can't keep listening to this. Oh wait, that's not her anymore. She has no idea how I feel. Shut up. Just be quiet for a minute. There's nothing wrong with relying on me at times like this. That is wrong, Shirou. Please, do not twist your priorities so. You should not concern yourself with me. You must put your life ahead of mine. She's pleading with me. Knowing that I'm responsible for the agonized sound of her voice makes me want to give up right now. But I refuse. There's nothing in the world I want more than you. Aw. I can't allow myself to give in to her plea. What? Saber gapes at me. I'm not sure why, but I remember something. She once told me I was a fool who didn't know the value of my own life. I think she's right. For someone who can't help themselves to try to help someone else is a little presumptuous. I will say, this is a very deep moment for me. I don't mind talking about this. This is something I've talked about in front of many people, but I've experienced like suicidal ideation. I've never made an attempt on my life. I've experienced that in almost, well, like a year and 8 months or so, somewhere around there. I've really not experienced those thoughts or anything. Thank goodness. Very grateful for that, and very happy to be in a better mind space. But where was I going with that? Oh, with Shirou's mindset. I will say, when you value your life less, it is, I think, very true that sometimes, or at least for me, I found value in trying to help out other people, like, and prioritizing them. But a lot of times I would be very self-destructive in that, and then so maybe I would be able to help them out for short term, but not really in a long-term way, because I wasn't really doing what I needed for myself. And so it was very hit or miss to me as far as if I was reliable or not. Granted, it seems like in a different sense with Shirou, he doesn't value himself. He has that. But instead of honestly, I kind of forgot the point of where I was going with that comparison. There's something I was gonna say in that. I'm gonna edit it out, but there's like a couple minute pause where I just sat here just thinking about like, where was I going with that? And I really tried to rack my marbles together to get something, but nothing came about. If it's important enough, it'll come back. They're really only doing it for their own happiness, while the person they're meant to be helping may not be so half so pleased. Someone's first priority should be themselves. Yes and no. I mean, I will say, like, even despite what I've experienced and stuff, I don't think you should always be first priority. I think there are some times where you do need the sacrifice, I think. Because I think sometimes there's something more important than yourself. Not that another person's life is more important than you. You're equal. But there's something more eternal, and again, this goes into more spiritual realm for me. There's sometimes something more eternal, more spiritual, more transcendent than a temporary thing that I think you need to sacrifice yourself for. For me, that is showing love and grace and forgiveness to the people around me. Kind of, again, with Christianity, modeling that after the life of Jesus, modeling those things. But I think for anyone, really, I think there are times that you do need to prioritize other people beyond self. Now, always and always and forever, no, because you will run yourself into a ground. There are certain measures that you have to take there, but there's a little bit more nuance there, I think. The people who think like that are the ones who can truly be happy, and so they can then share that happiness with other people as well. I do agree with that. You get happy, you can share that happiness and that joy rather than sharing misery, essentially. Yeah, I know I'm a fool who doesn't value his own life. I've been wrong about the most important thing in my life. From that day, the place in my heart where whatever is most important to me should have been was empty. But I'm grateful for that abnormality, because now, that empty space is filled with the person I truly want to save. But, Saber, even if I'm the most important thing in my life, nothing will change. You are so much more beautiful than my life could ever be. Nothing could ever replace you in my heart. And then I realize, it wasn't that I was sympathetic towards her. The girl in my dreams, that girl who fought and died alone, who I felt was never rewarded for all. Hi, Frank. Was never rewarded for all she did. I was in awe of her. Thought she was beautiful beyond words. The vivid image of her taking her sword and charging into battle, never looking back, was awe-inspiring. That comes back to that idea of, like, sacrificing self. There is something kind of beautiful in that. To a degree. I think when you go so far as, like, Saber and Shirou do at times, it's just concerning and not a temporal, like, yes, this is the time, you just need to buckle it up, suck it up, and just do it kind of a thing. But when you're just constantly, like, really putting yourself down, that's not the way to do it, I don't think. Yeah, that's why I need to protect you, Saber. You are alone your entire life, so I have to make sure you're not swallowed up by the darkness in your last moments. Yep, once this is all over, on the verge of your death, I hope you can go into your eternal slumber, proud of what you did with your life. No more hesitation. My objective is clear. Sorry. I love you more than anything, Saber. So, I'm not letting him take you. I regret the apology as soon as I give it. How do you regret it? Like, do you regret the I love you part? Is that what you're saying? But I wanted to tell her. I wanted to tell her that now, of all times, because the words would come straight from the heart. I sense her gasping. She did. I want to turn around, and then I turned around to see her face, but no. Can't really see anymore anyway. I stand up. I thought you were already standing and walking. As long as my heart is still beating, I can keep fighting. Magical energy is life. As long as it flows through me, I can create as many swords for her as she needs. Congratulations! You've stood up. Now what? What do you expect to happen here? I'm just gonna, like, kill you. It's pretty easy, actually. Feel a scorching heat in my right hand. Here, on the brink of death, I'm reminded of what happened 10 years ago. It's a terrible illusion. I feel just like I did when I was in the fire, reaching a hand out and hoping to be saved. His voice kind of... Is that just me, or did the Japanese voice kind of change slightly? Go away! I can't leave Saber to you! I say that as I raise my right hand. Ooh! I have no need for your consent. I do what I want. I'm ruler of all, dude. Like, I own everything. All the gold, all the weapons, all the chicks. Gilgamesh raises her sword. His sword, not her. Get down, Shirou! I hear Saber far behind me. I ignore her and use my remaining magical energy to project, a sword once more. Caliburn? Or something else? The light stops me. A vortex of light rushes at me. It's not as strong as Excalibur, but it still burns away anything it touches. ... When the heat scorches my body, I don't think about my death. I think about Saber, somewhere behind me. This will kill her as well as me. I at least needed to protect her then. I said it's what I do. It's what I've always wanted to do. She's strong, but at the same time could break at any moment. She needs me. She's like a drawn sword, so to make sure she doesn't get hurt, I'll sheath her. Whoa, what was that? Was that the new weapon? And then, before I realize what's going on, there's a sword in my right hand. What? I'm not sure who said that. You said it! But there's a brief hesitation. At the same moment, the invincible knight in gold takes a step back. Shirou, allow me! Saber takes my hand. What? Okay, new sword. She grabs my hand. What's it? The vortex of light fades. What happened? Saber's right beside me. Before me is Gilgamesh, eyes open and bleeding. What? Oh, whoa! Whoa, what's going on? I get the scratch on the face, but then there's, like, all those marks on his forehead. And then his pauldron, the shoulder piece, it's ripped open and on fire? Or just really, really hot? ... I don't know what happened. But I realize it's just like the Berserker battle. Saber is using whatever I made, and it destroyed Gilgamesh's Graham. Using whatever I made. Okay. Two titanic beams of light collide before one overwhelms the other, and we manage to truly wound the man who until now had been completely unscathed. He radiates murderous intent. It's terrifying. In spite of that ferocious, murderous rage, Golden Knight leaves without a word. What? I need more than that. What? What did we do? There's no time to be surprised. I have no idea why he just left. I don't either. Okay, I'm glad we're at least in the same boat. But what'd you do with the sword? What'd she do with your sword? But even as I feel myself slipping into unconsciousness, I know the battle's over. My knees buckle. The tension that kept me upright fades and I collapse. Shirou! Saber hurries forward and catches me. Wasn't she fatally wounded? While I slip down onto my rear, supported by Saber, I look over my body. Can't help but cry out. My body is torn to pieces. Yeah. I mean, you'll heal. That's fine. You're good. Dude, it's only been recording for 20 minutes. It feels like 40. I feel like so many, like, little but big things have happened in that time. I should have been killed the instant Gilgamesh laid me open from shoulder to hip. Well, this is definitely... My healing power must be what's got me clinging to life, but even that has its limits. You were disemboweled by Berserker, you're fine. I'm practically split into... Well, when you put it that way. We'll see. No, you're fine. It's fine. I can't possibly recover from this. It's gonna be okay. I'm not even sure if I'm breathing. And everything is starting to go dark. Well, that's not great. My end is near. Please don't die. The only good thing to come from this is that Saber is okay. My wounds are fatal, but it looks like Saber was just exhausted. She's disarmed, and her wounds are already healed. Even if I end up having to drop out of the war, I'm sure Tosaka can take care of the rest. Whoa. I hear that sound again. I'm trying to piece together what this image is of. There's blood. Almost like teeth or overlapping blades. I hear that sound again. That sound of creaking bones is coming from me. Curious, I look down at my wounds. What? I see myriad swords. What? Or I see what looks like tons of tiny blades converging, layering atop each other, trying to knit together my broken body. Oh, this is on you? I feel faint. Can I get a zoom out of this? It looks like every muscle and bone in my body is made from swords. What? Oh, okay. Is this how you've been healing? The next moment, they're gone. My body looks normal, and what I thought I saw a moment ago seems to have only been an illusion. No, there's something going on with that. That's not just... We didn't just throw that out there to be like, oh, it's so cool, and then just toss it out the window again. There's definitely something going on with that. As proof of that, my ruined flesh begins fusing together. My wounds close right before my eyes. It's more like restoration rather than healing. Looking at it, I feel a surge of disgust rather than fascination. What? Looks like I'm gonna make it. But this is just too... What a relief. It appears you will not die, Master. I hear Saber's voice at my ear. She's, really close. Well, that's great, but my body, what's... I want to ask what's going on with my body, but I'm suddenly overcome with dizziness. And then, my body is enveloped in a soft embrace. Ah, yes, yes! Yes! A win! A win is a win, regardless of circumstances. A win is a win. Saber. No. I understand now. It makes sense for your wounds to be healing. So has he been using... This is... I'm sure it'll explain. This is my theory. Has he been using projection all along, like projection of weapons all along as a way of healing? Because if you think about it, in a way, he's been practicing projection most of his life. Because every time that he's gone to, like, flick his magical switch, He's made a new one. He has been, I think, practicing projection all this time. That is why this thing that is supposed to be nigh on impossible comes... with ease is not the right term. Comes naturally to him. Like, it's literally within his nature. It is his response. Like, he just instinctively does this. I think it's because he's actually been doing it all this time. I can't stay awake. I produce too much magical energy. My worn-out mind wants to sleep now. I don't know how strong it is. But Saber moves closer and wraps her arms around me. She embraces me tight. I'm really glad that even after all the fighting and stuff, I'm really glad they're having this, and I think this shows too, once again, I mean, we knew Saber cared still, but how deeply she cares, and I think she loves Shirou too. I would assume. I finally understand. You are my sheath, Shirou. Her words penetrate deep into my tired mind. That sensation is so comforting, and the last of my remaining consciousness fades away. I finally realize I'm safe, and so I yield my body to sleep. Before sleep takes me, okay, or not, I don't yield it to sleep. We're gonna pause one more moment. I find myself thinking, with a little foolish sadness, that the scene would be better if our positions were reversed. How so? Like, you want her to be the one that protected you? I mean, she's done that before. For the final time. We didn't get an explanation of what the heck happened. What sword did he make? Why did Gilgamesh just dip? Why didn't he stay fighting? For the final time, I see that red hill once again. Final time, though. Interesting. Red Hill. The Red Memory. This is different. Okay, this isn't what I thought it would be. I thought we were about to see, what's it called? Shirou's backstory. This may be Saber's. It is Saber's. Okay, I dive deeper into her memory, and I realize I'm seeing it for the last time. It's a memory of a certain night that I've seen many times already. After becoming king and killing her will so that she could devote herself to the will of her nation, her days were now marked by the resentment of her trusted knights. Every time she won a battle, Altria was made to fight more battles she didn't want. She continued to hide her sex, which heaped more suspicion onto her. All that awaited the isolated girl was rebellion at the hands of her own family. A young knight took over the nation while the king was away on an expedition. The knight's name was Mordred. Mordred. Why does that sound familiar? The knight, son of Altria's older sister, Morgan, was in fact the king of Night's own son. What? Knight, son of Altria's older sister, Morgan, was in fact king of Night's own son. Was there lesbian incest? What? Altria was never able to have a child as a woman. Yes. But Mordred had her blood coursing through his veins. How? I'm not clear what happened to make this possible, but Altria's older brother, Morgan, loathed her for becoming king. Sister, not brother. My bad. Mordred was created as a clone. Oh! Okay. Well, when you put it like that, maybe we should have led with that instead of lesbian incest, but Mordred was created as a clone and served the king without knowing who his father was. Mordred sought an opportunity to take the throne for himself, getting confused with my hims and hers here, ultimately going so far as to organize a revolt. Oh, that's what led to this moment. That revolt would end in what later became known as the Battle of Camlann. Final battle, and the end of King Arthur. King Arthur learned of Mordred's betrayal during her expedition and returned with her weary army to invade her own lands. Hello, German Wiener Schnitzel. I have no clue who that is. She defeated, maybe somebody changed their username. She defeated many of the knights who used to serve her. She attacked the lands she once defended. Those few knights who remained loyal to her died. The only two left standing in the end were the king and her son, Mordred. Son? I don't know if we would... Why not just say clone? Why do we need to say son? Also, if it's a clone of her, why is it a guy? Why is it not a gal? The combat between the two of them ended in the king's victory, but the king was not unharmed. Mordred was bound by a powerful curse and swung his sword even after dying, inflicting a fatal wound on the king. Dang! Your own quote-unquote son killed you. And so, that battle ended. It was the end of her, the king once known as the King of Knights. It must have been heart-wrenching. None of the battles she fought were painless. Every one of the 12 battles she fought was intense, but this final one was her greatest loss. She returned to her homeland only to have to destroy her own army. She was forced to punish the knights who once served her, and had to watch those knights who remained loyal to her die. And in the end, she had to kill her own son. Clone. Clone. I just want to say it is a clone, not a son. You did not pop him out yourself. Or do the reproductive deeds to make him. I have no idea what was going through her head in that moment. But I had to pray. I had to pray for the lone knight who tried to remain king until the very end. I pray that the stream... There's a bug on my monitor. Hold on. Come back, bug. There's a huge... Sorry about that, but there's a huge ant on top of my... just crawling around on the top of my monitor. Just seeing an ant makes me feel like bugs are crawling all over me. It's freakish. I pray that this dream of her just before her death is the kind of dream a girl named Altria would want to see. Okay. Alright, we're gonna end it there. I think that's a really good stopping point. Wow. Really cool. Still a lot of mystery surrounding how that fight was able to conclude, but still, really enjoyed some of those scenes, so hope you guys did too, and I hope you guys are doing well. I will catch you in the next video. Until the end, hope you're doing, or I already said that, whatever, it don't matter. Bye!